After misleading the enemy, can we continue to weaken them further? The answer is yes. The art of war gradually delves deeper, moving from the general to the specific. The next key concept is division and concentration, referring to the dispersal and concentration of forces. ####, why should we divide our forces? What is the purpose? One way to understand this is by comparing it to a boxing match. If boxer A only uses one fist to attack, even if that fist is powerful, it is still difficult to win because boxer B faces almost no defensive pressure, and the attack is too predictable. On the other hand, boxer B can have multiple attacking options, such as using the left fist to strike from the front and the right fist from the side, or attacking the head with the left hand and the abdomen with the right, etc. This variation of attacks requires the division of forces. ####, division of forces. From the perspective of our side, the art of war says, use the regular to engage and the irregular to win. The concept of regular and irregular can be interpreted in two ways. 1. The regular forces engage the enemy head-on, while the irregular forces maneuver around the enemy's flanks or attack from the rear. 2. The regular forces are deployed first, followed by the irregular forces. The use of regular and irregular forces is highly flexible. As Sun Tzu said, the irregular and the regular are like the cycle of the seasons. No one can exhaust them. In other words, irregular forces can become regular forces, and regular forces can be turned into irregular ones. After one unit has attacked, another can follow immediately, continually shifting tactics. This creates a cyclical, endless pattern of offense that keeps the enemy off balance. A boxing analogy is that I might throw a left punch, drawing the enemy's attention to my left hand. Immediately after, I strike with a right punch, taking them by surprise. If they defend against the right punch, I quickly follow with another left punch. This back and forth, alternating use of left and right hands mirrors the concept of regular and irregular forces. ###, against the enemy. From the perspective of weakening the enemy, we need to scatter their forces, ensuring that they cannot concentrate their strength when we attack. As the art of war says, make the enemy unable to connect their front and rear, their large and small forces unable to support each other, their higher and lower ranks unable to aid each other, so that soldiers are scattered and unable to unite. This means that the enemy's forces are dispersed and cannot form a cohesive fighting force, while our own forces are concentrated in one place. This is concentration of forces. ###, concentration of forces. Concentration of forces means that when we launch an attack, we need to focus our strength in one place. The art of war says, if our forces are 10 times greater than the enemy's, surround them. If 5 times, attack them. If twice, divide and conquer. If equal, prepare for battle. If slightly weaker, prepare to retreat. If much weaker, avoid battle. This means that when our forces are 10 times stronger than the enemy's, we should surround them. If 5 times stronger, attack. If twice as strong, divide and weaken them. If equally matched, prepare to fight. If somewhat weaker, prepare to escape. And if much weaker, avoid confrontation altogether. How to implement this concentration on the battlefield depends on individual talent and application skills. As we discussed earlier, we want to disperse the enemy's forces so that they cannot support each other, while we concentrate our own forces in one place. For example, if both sides have 10 soldiers each, and they are dispersed, unable to support one another, our 10 soldiers can attack the enemy one by one, defeating each in turn. Ultimately, our side will defeat the enemy, despite their initial numerical parity. ###, now that we've covered division and concentration, can we proceed with battle? Not yet. Hold on a little longer. The art of war goes even further, delving into strategies for weakening the enemy locally, which is known as attacking the weak, avoiding the strong, attacking the weak. This means targeting the enemy's weak spots with our stronger forces. By doing this, we minimize our own losses and increase our chances of success, even converting the enemy's resources into our own. Thus, the essence of warfare is about achieving victory through disproportionate force, fighting with fewer forces against the enemy's weaker sections. Even if we are weaker than the enemy overall, as long as we apply force where they are weakest, we can win small victories on the battlefield, eventually turning those small wins into overall success. ###, what are weak points? The art of war defines weak points as unprepared and unexpected places, areas where the enemy is least prepared or hasn't anticipated an attack. During war, there is often competition for resources or strategic positions. The concept of attacking the weak also applies when competing for these resources. The art of war introduces the idea of taking the indirect route as the direct route, which has two meanings. 1. Turning disadvantage into advantage. 2. When the direct route is too difficult, taking an indirect route, a detour, might be easier and more effective. Thus, taking an indirect route can be seen as a form of attacking the weak. Summary. From using spies for information gathering to the final strategy of attacking the weak, the core process of applying the art of war has been covered. Additionally, the art of war also involves principles of management, battlefield reconnaissance, and military geography, which are outside the scope of this course. Personally, I believe that using military strategy is like playing chess. Mastering the art of war is like understanding the rules of the game. However, knowing the rules does not automatically make you a great player, just as mastering the art of war does not automatically make you a great strategist. It all depends on personal talent and flexible application. The art of war says, the wise consider both the advantages and disadvantages, meaning that a wise person will consider both benefits and risks when making decisions. I believe that thinking from both perspectives at all times will help one apply the art of war more effectively. In daily life, if you encounter an opponent who also understands the art of war, it will come down to who can apply it more flexibly. As the art of war says, the one who adapts to the enemy's changes and wins is called divine. The person who can change according to the enemy's moves and eventually win can be called a master of military strategy. Lastly, I would like to remind all the students studying this course, after mastering the art of war, you can use it to succeed in your career and achieve happiness in your personal life. However, please remember never to use it for harmful or immoral purposes.